Here's why I think Justice League didn't do that well. Number one, it's because people have seen this sort of thing before, of superheroes coming together, like what with the Avengers and everything, and obviously the Guardians of the Galaxy as well. Um, Number two, the trailer could have been better so that it would entice people to go and see the film more. And number three, Star Wars is basically coming out this month of December, whereas Justice League came out last month, which was November. So yeah, people's probably like, oh, I won't bother seeing Justice League because Star Wars is coming out in December. But yeah, so for me, like Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman were the better characters in this film, as opposed to Cyborg, Aquaman, and Flash. But there we go. Anyway, moving on to Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, that stars Dwayne Johnson, Jack Black, Kevin Hart, and of course Karen Gillan. Now, many people will know that Karen Gillan stars in the Guardians of the Galaxy films as Nebula, but she also starred in Doctor Who as Amy Pond. So, yeah, she's quite a gingerlicious actress. But the point is, right, I reckon this Jumanji film won't do that well because literally it comes out a week after Star Wars and people will probably still be seeing Star Wars at that point. Um, so, maybe they could have chosen a better release date than the same month that Star Wars is coming out. I don't know who made that decision for that release date, but there we go. My advice to him is choose your release dates better if you're going to make movies like this. I mean, there's no way that this film is going to make the same amount of money as the first Jumanji, mainly because people have already seen the trailer for this new movie, and the trailer doesn't give off that same funness that the first Jumanji gave off. Yes, it was a fun trailer, so I have no doubt that it's going to be a fun movie. But I'm just saying that it's obviously not going to be as fun as the first Jumanji, and it's not going to be as good as the first Jumanji. That's just my overall prediction for this film. Anyway, moving on now to January when we have the release of Insidious: The Last Key. Now, I think people watching Star Wars would have died down by this point. So I have no doubt that this film is going to be like it's going to do better than the Jumanji film. Um, Not only because it's coming out in January, but also because I don't know, I suppose like people are fed up of comedies at this point and they just want like more like entries from the horror and thriller genres. So, of course, in March we have Tomb Raider coming out, which we have Alicia Vikander as Lara Croft, which I think is the best casting ever. I honestly can't think of anybody better who could play Lara Croft, to be honest. I mean, she's way better than Angelina Jolie, and I haven't even seen the movie yet. I've only seen her in the trailers. Um, with Tomb Raider, I think it will suffer because of Avengers Infinity War. Because people are going to be like, oh, Avengers Infinity War is out in April. Oh, we won't bother seeing Tomb Raider in March. That's what some people's going to be like. And I think that's kind of a stupid, like, approach to have about these films. Because you should see both, really. Like, because, like, I have no doubt that both Avengers Infinity War and Tomb Raider will be two of the biggest films of the year. Like, if Tomb Raider, like, somehow beats Bumblebee in terms of how much money it gets at the box office, then I will be very, very, very impressed. But, you know, Bumblebee's like coming out in June, just like Ant-Man and the Wasp, Jurassic World, and Deadpool 2. So, people might be like, oh, we can't be bothered seeing Bumblebee because we're already seeing Ant-Man and the Wasp, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, and Deadpool 2. So, you know, like, again, this is an example of when, like, some assholes in Hollywood have chosen a stupid release date. They may not think it's stupid, but I do. They all they're thinking is, oh, it's competition for these other three films. Like, but to be honest, I reckon Bumblebee will be a complete failure of a movie. It will probably be like the worst Transformers movie ever. Like, because, like, at the end of the day, it's not going to have as many Transformers in it as the other Transformers movies. Like, like, I really liked The Last Night. Age of Extinction, that was kind of average, really. Basically, if we analyze this diagram right here, in some countries, Avengers Infinity War is coming out at the end of April, but in other countries, it's coming out in May. So, that being said, we'll just go back to February a minute, because obviously we have like Black Panther and 50 Shades Freed coming out in February. Now, I think we could safely say that Black Panther is going to overshadow 50 Shades Freed massively. It's obviously going to get more at the box office, I think. Black Panther is. So, well, don't get me wrong, I like kinky things, but it'll never be a superhero movie. So basically, we also have Cloverfield 3 coming out in February. Now, 10 Cloverfield Lane was an absolutely brilliant movie. First Cloverfield, really kind of average, to be honest. But after the success of 10 Cloverfield Lane, like, they seem to be using John Goodman in more and more films now, like Kong Skull Island, for example, and even Atomic Blonde. But anyway, we're not going too much into John Goodman in this video. Anyway, so we got Solo: A Star Wars Story coming out in May. Now, obviously, that's going to be one of the biggest films of 2018 as well. New Mutants. That's going to be like a horror film set in the X-Men universe. To be honest, Fox's entry there, it's not gonna be anything like Avengers Infinity War. You can't really make a comparison between the two. But so basically, yeah. Of course, we've had the news that Captain Marvel is going to be set in space, just like X-Men Dark Phoenix. And also, both films are going to be set in the 90s as well, around the 1992-1993 sort of time period. And on top of all that, both films are going to feature the Skrulls as well. For those who don't know, Skrulls are aliens from the Marvel Comics. So, basically, X-Men Dark Phoenix is made by Fox, but Captain Marvel is made by Disney. So, will the Skrulls look different in both films? It would be kind of weird if they do, because since like Fox and Disney are trying to merge everything together, ready for when Disney finalizes taking over Fox, or buying Fox would be a better way to say it, I suppose. But anyway, now we've also had confirmation that Gwen Stacy will appear in the sequel to Spider-Man: Homecoming. Now, basically, I can't think of a better actress for Gwen Stacy than Emma Stone. But Emma Stone has already played her in the Amazing Spider-Man films, so it's not very likely that they'll get Emma back for the MCU. Anyway, that aside, it looks like Gwen Stacy in the MCU, she's going to be a European exchange student, and it looks like she's going to be French because they seem to be auditioning French actresses, which I think is a bit of a weird move considering they've already changed Mary Jane's name to Michelle Jones. But, you know, of all of the things to cock up in the MCU, they had to cock up Spider-Man and Spider-Man's various characters. Like, what the friggin' hell is going on with Venom and Silver and Black? Like, there's a chance that Venom might not even be in the MCU. There's a chance that Black Cat and Silver Sable might not even be in the MCU because Sony are being dickheads. But at least Sony let Disney like use Spider-Man in some of their films. Anyway, so Ellen Page, of course, she's the actress who plays Shadowcat in the X-Men movies. Now, she does a brilliant portrayal of Shadowcat, but, you know, if the X-Men got rebooted at any point, I think they could choose, like, a better actress, like to play Shadowcat. Because, don't get me wrong, Ellen Page is sexy and everything, but, you know, I think they should choose an actress who is slightly more sexy, if you see what I mean. Anyway. So. But then, you have Olivia Munn, who played Psylocke in X-Men Apocalypse, and her portrayal of Psylocke is perfect. So, that's one actress that I don't want them to change if they ever reboot the X-Men movies. But they probably will change her because they like being dickheads. Even though they'll obviously never change Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool because that's a huge success. Anyway. So anyway, Oscar Isaac, obviously, he's known for playing Poe Dameron in the Star Wars movies, but he's also known as playing Apocalypse in X-Men Apocalypse. Now, like, obviously they cocked up Apocalypse massively in the X-Men Apocalypse movie, mainly because, like, they didn't make him seem as powerful as he was in the comics. And even in that video game that I played when I was a kid, it was called X-Men Legends 2, Rise of Apocalypse. So, I really love that game because you could play as Scarlet Witch and stuff, but there we go. The point is, like, he didn't seem as much of a threat in that movie than he did in the comics. Just imagine if Shadowcat and Spider-Man had a romantic relationship in the movies. So it would be like Ellen Page kissing Tom Holland. That would be crazy. What would be even more crazy is if Shadowcat suddenly became an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and she ended up on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV series. Why can't Ellen Page just wear this suit, or whoever ends up playing Shadowcat in the future?